If you're shopping for a top-tier HDMI cable to push your gaming or streaming setup to 8K 60Hz or 4K 120Hz, you've probably come across the Cable Matters Fiber Optic HDMI cable. It promises near-magical image clarity and extended range thanks to its fiber optic technology. But here's what surprised me. Despite all this tech hype, there are some real problems you need to know before clicking buy. Most reviews shine on the specs, but I found a few hidden downsides that could leave you frustrated, especially if you're a serious gamer or home theater enthusiast who refuses to settle for lag or signal dropouts. Stick around because I'll break down what works, what doesn't, and whether this cable deserves a place in your setup. Right off the bat, Cable Matters Fiber Optic HDMI cable screams premium with a $69.99 price tag and claims support for 8K at 60Hz and 4K at a blistering 120Hz. These specs satisfy almost any high-end gaming console or 4K HDR TV out there, including the latest PS5, Xbox Series X, and cutting-edge home theater gear. The active chipset and fiber optic construction promise to keep your signal pristine, even over longer distances, something traditional copper HDMI cables struggle with. This cable touts full HDMI 2.1 support and 48 Gbps bandwidth, ensuring compatibility with VRR variable refresh rate, ALLM, auto low latency mode, and even immersive audio standards like Dolby Atmos or DTS-X. On paper, it checks all the right boxes for the tech-savvy buyer. But here's where things get tricky. Fiber optic technology for HDMI cables is relatively new, and while it's a game-changer in theory, it introduces new challenges in practice. Multiple users report that this Cable Matters unit, despite its specs, can occasionally experience signal dropouts or flickering, especially at maximum resolutions and refresh rates over long lengths. So how does a cable designed for flawless 8K transmission glitch when it's supposed to perform better than any copper alternative? The answer lies largely in the active chipset inside. Because the cable actively amplifies the signal, it requires power when connected. Sometimes the source device or the display struggles to supply adequate power to the cable's amplifier chip, resulting in those annoying blackouts or unstable picture. It's like giving your cat a fancy toy that needs batteries, but realizing you forgot to buy the batteries first. Even more frustrating, the cable isn't exactly plug-and-play for all devices. Compatibility issues can arise with certain AV receivers or older 4K TVs, mainly because the cable strictly adheres to the latest HDMI 2.1 protocol nuances that some gear doesn't fully implement. This can cause handshake failures, meaning the cable and device don't properly recognize each other, resulting in no signal messages or a fallback to 60Hz or 30Hz resolutions instead of the promised 120Hz. For gamers chasing competitive advantage, this lag isn't just annoying, it's unacceptable. So if you're upgrading your setup, don't assume this cable will perfectly complement every existing component. A quick question for you. Have you ever bought a cable thinking it would fix your lag only to find it made things worse? Hang tight because there's more. Let's talk durability and build quality. Cable Matters really goes all in on this one. The cable's fiber optic core makes it thinner and lighter than traditional copper cables, which sounds great until you consider that fiber optics are less flexible and can be more fragile when bent or twisted harshly. This cable isn't a spaghetti monster you can shove behind a media console willy-nilly. Treat it gently, or you risk internal damage that's not user-serviceable. Unlike copper cables that you might accidentally kink or tangle without losing function, fiber optic cables require more respect. If you're someone who often rearranges their setup or transports gear between locations, this might be a deal breaker. Here's a joke for you. Why don't fiber optic cables ever get lost? Because they have excellent light guidance. But seriously, delicate cabling can be a pain. On the positive side, if you keep everything stationary and plug this cable between compatible devices, the video and audio performance can be stunning. Thanks to its full 48 Gbps bandwidth, color details pop, HDR performance is spot on, and gaming feels buttery smooth without visual artifacts or stutter, assuming your setup cooperates. The cable's support for Dolby Vision means bright highlights and deep blacks enhance your favorite movies. Plus, thanks to HDMI CEC compatibility, you can control your devices with a single remote, a small but convenient bonus for your AV environment. Here's a quick story from a fellow reviewer that cracked me up. They tried running the cable across a 25-foot stretch to link their wall-mounted TV and Xbox Series X in the opposite corner. Initially, it was perfect and they bragged to their friends about the space magic cable. But over a week, random moments of signal dropout frustrated their gaming sessions, with screen blackouts during tense battles. The solution: rerouting the cable to a shorter run or investing in an active repeater device to boost the signal. So, if you're planning a crazy long home theater setup with this fiber optic cable, get ready for some troubleshooting unless you have ideal conditions. Rehook here, wondering if this cable is still worth your money despite its quirks. I'll get to that soon, but first, let me explain who this cable is actually for, and who might want to look elsewhere. If you're a casual user with a modest 4K TV and just want a cable that works, this might be overkill. The Cable Matters Fiber Optic HDMI cable shines brightest for tech enthusiasts, gamers, and AV pros who need guaranteed performance over longer distances without sacrificing the latest features. It's perfect for setups where traditional copper cables falter, thick walls, large rooms, or complicated media cabinets giving you no option but a long run. It's also great for users who prioritize future-proofing and want 8K-ready infrastructure. However, if your devices or setup don't fully support HDMI 2.1, you may find the cable's advanced features underused. Now about price. At $69.99, you're paying a premium for fiber optic tech, which is understandable. But fiber optic cables from lesser-known brands sometimes cost similar prices with less polish or warranty support. Cable Matters provides a decent warranty and customer support that's better than most generic cables, adding peace of mind if something goes wrong. But beware, prices fluctuate frequently on Amazon, sometimes dropping substantially during sales or deals. My advice: watch prices carefully and snag this cable when you spot a deal. You don't want to pay full price when discounts occur. Before I wrap this up, let's address the big elephant in the room. Should you buy this cable or not? My honest verdict is nuanced. The Cable Matters Fiber Optic HDMI cable is undeniably powerful tech packed with cutting-edge features that can future-proof your setup and open up cinema-quality visuals and gaming. But it comes with caveats: device compatibility quirks, fragility, and a price tag that might give more budget-conscious buyers pause. It's not a perfect plug-and-play solution, so patience and troubleshooting savvy are needed at times. If you're like me, someone who loves pushing tech boundaries and doesn't mind fiddling around to get the best possible home theater or gaming experience, this cable is a worthy investment. It's especially great if your current copper cables can't stretch far enough without signal loss, or if you crave hassle-free 120 Hz gaming without compromise. On the other hand, if you want effortless plug-and-play, or if your setup doesn't push HDMI 2.1 hardware to its limits, you might be better served by a high-quality copper HDMI 2.1 cable that costs less and bends easier, literally and figuratively. For casual viewing or moderate gaming, that's often all you need. And no, the cable won't fix your lag, sorry. No HDMI cable is a magic wand for that. Here's one last joke before we finish. Why did the HDMI cable break up with the VGA cable? Because it just couldn't handle the connection. Seriously though, Investing in the right cable is crucial for your entertainment setup. To summarize, the Cable Matters Fiber Optic HDMI cable offers top-tier specs like 8K 60Hz, 4K 120Hz, 48 Gbps bandwidth, and future-proof features like VRR, ALLM, and Dolby Vision compatibility. It excels at transmitting flawless signals over long distances where copper cables struggle. However, expect potential compatibility issues, fragility due to fiber optics, possible power requirements for the active chipset, and a higher price. It's ideal for enthusiasts, gamers, and AV professionals with demanding setups. If you want to explore this cable further and snag the best price, I've linked it in the description below. Keep in mind prices change fast on Amazon, so don't wait too long if you spot a deal. Whether this cable is the final missing piece in your dream setup or just good to have tech depends on your needs. But at least now you know exactly what you're getting into. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this honest review and want more real-deal tech insights just like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon. Got questions about this or other gear? Drop them in the comments. I love hearing from you. Here's to smooth, stunning, lag-free entertainment experiences.